Hey ladies, welcome to the Latin. It's the next to last week, am I right? Let me just double check that because no, we got 2 more weeks after this. So this is 2 more weeks and we will have finished this full rotation of new consultant education. And we are slowly but surely adding these videos to our websites. So if you've missed a couple weeks or missed a week or you want to go back and review, you can go back on your website and look. I know that last week's has not been added yet, but that'll be done this week. So for those of you that are joining us by recording, we're glad that you're taking time to invest in your business. For those of you that are joining us live tonight, thank you so much for carving out some time in your schedule to be here for the new consultant education. But tonight is probably one of my most favorite topics. So I'm loving that it fell on me doing the topic today. It is the second avenue of income. The second avenue. So let me recap. Do you know what the first avenue of income is? The first avenue is selling the products. Remember, 50% everything you sell. I've got products all over the place. 50% of everything that you sell goes into your pocket. The other 50% covers the cost of the products, right? So that's our first avenue of income. Our second avenue of income is team building. Now, I'm going to tell you, true story, when I first started this business, first of all, it took me forever to hold my first party. Okay, so I just want to give you hope. I signed in June and I held my debut in October. Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad that my recruiter had not given up on me? Like, she let me be me. And she let me wait till October. And I also want to tell you that I started with a full store of inventory. I started with $3,600 product on my shelf. Don't you know she was freaking out when I hadn't held my first party until October? Okay, so I just want to give some of you that might be listening some hope, okay? Held my first debut party. My mom, my aunt, and my 2 aunts came. My mom bought about $150 worth of products. My aunt bought a lipstick and returned it a week later, okay? So I tell you that because I am celebrating 16 years in Mary Kay in next week, as a matter of fact. So I didn't let that little bitty sales stop me, okay? I didn't let the months go from the time I started my business to the time I held my first party stop me. And then from October, it was October to probably February or March of the next year before I ever held my next party. Now, I'm telling you all of my bad habits, because I want you to see that what you're facing and what you're feeling, I probably have felt the same thing. But when I was ready, things started happening. So a year passed, a full year passed. And I sat down with Holly at the time when I said, I've got to win a new car. I mean, I've got to have a car. We're going to have to buy one. Mine stranded me in a bad part of town. And I know that we don't have the money to go buy a new car. How can I win a car? She said, well, first and foremost, you've got to hold more parties. I said, okay, I can do that. So that's the first avenue of income. But the next thing she said is you have got to start building a team. You've got to start building a team. And I'm going to tell you that really scared me because, oh my goodness, my screen just changed on me. Okay, that really scared me because I'm just going to tell you the truth. I was embarrassed to tell people that I was selling Mary Kay. Now, why? I don't know. It wasn't that it was too good of a product, because that wasn't the case. I didn't know enough about the products to be able to be embarrassed about the products. I think what my mind said was, A, they're going to think it's old people's makeup, which we all know today that is not even anywhere in the scheme of things. But second of all, I was worried that my friends were going to be like, that's all she wants from me. She wants me to sign if I don't join her team that she's not going to be a part of me, okay? These were the kind of things that I went through in my head. So when Holly told me I had to make her a list of people, I was like, eek, I'm not giving you a list. She told me that at the very beginning. And then a year later, like I said, a whole year passed. When I told her I needed a car, she said, okay, remember way back when I told you I needed a list of some women? You got to do that. You don't do that, you're not going to win a car. You're going to be stuck where you are. I was like, okay, fine. So I had to wrap my head around it. I sat down and made a list of 25 women, their names, their phone numbers, and a little bit of something about them. Now, don't worry, we'll get into all this in just a few minutes. I just want to tell you my story here. I handed her my list. I was so excited. I did my list. You know, wipe the sweat off the brow, you know, fan yourself. Okay, I did the list. It took me a while, but I did the list. You know what she did to me? She turned around and gave me the list back and said, now go call them all. Like, what? You're going to make me call them when I'm the one that's telling you that this is not my comfort zone? I do not feel comfortable sharing this business with other people. A, I don't feel confident in the products. And B, like, haven't you been to all these home parties and they always try to make you sell? I don't want to be that person. okay? But I can fast forward and tell you that marketing and recruiting is my favorite part of Mary Kay. As a matter of fact, as I started making those calls, I really realized that that's where my spunk and my fun and my excitement happened. And y'all, I started recruiting women before they ever even tried the product. Is that the right way? No. Mary Kay taught you put the product on their face, then recruit them. But you know what I found? It didn't matter. They saw my passion. They saw my excitement. They wanted to be a part of my team and my first car and my first win. And people were coming out of the woodworks. They were excited. So their first introduction to product is I went to their house an hour before their debut and we did the facial before they had their own personal debut. So I'm telling you that there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's all about what's in your heart, what's all in your passion, and what you are working for, okay? So it's 100% about you believing in you and what you are doing. See, it took me a year to believe in what I was doing. It took me a year. I am a C personality, and I move slow, okay? But boy, when I start moving, you better get out of my way, because when I'm ready, when I know what I know, get out of my way. Okay, so there's beauty, there's benefit to that. So I just want to give you hope. If you're listening to me today and you're like, I'm not giving you a list of people. I'm not giving that to you. I'm not sharing my friends and family with you. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to, but you're going to just be on one avenue of income. My largest payment every month to me, the biggest amount of money that comes into my family is from my team building. I sell a lot of products, okay? Hear me. But my largest paychecks every month is from my team building. If I had not done the team building, I would have never been able to leave education. I'm going to tell you, I would still be in the classroom because my sales are good, but my team building is where my heart was, and that's income that's coming in every single month, okay? Where my sales, the girl might buy this month and she might not buy this month. So I just want to give you all my backstory on that real quick, okay? So let's talk about team building and how it benefits your purse first, okay? As a team builder, when you add your first or second team member, really with your first one and also with your second one, you start at 4% commission. So whatever her wholesale order is to the company then multiplies that by 4%, and that's what the company pays you, okay? You get paid on the 15th of the month. Every single month is when Mary Kay girls are smiling, because that's when the commission checks hit the bank, okay? You get paid on the 15th of the month based off of what your team member did the previous month. You start at 4% commission with 1 to 2 people. As you move up to 3 and 4 people, you then jump to 9% commission. As you grow to 5, 6, 7, and 8 people, your commission then starts to jump to 13% all the way up to becoming a sales director at 26% commission. Okay, so I did just some really quick math, and I wanted to show you what a commission check would look like from a starting point of a consultant. When I'm talking about starting point, I'm talking about you having 5 team members, and if all 5 team members do the minimum order for Mary Kay, which is a $225 wholesale amount. So if this one did $225, this one did $225, this one did $225, this one did $225, this one did $20. That is $1,125, okay? Production. $1,125, not what you get paid, but production. That you didn't have to do anything. You're over here holding your own parties, you're selling your own product, and these people are doing their thing. So this is what I'm going to call free money coming to your account. So if you multiply $1,125 by 4%, you're going to get a $45 commission check. But see, when there's 5 team members, if all 5 active, your commission's going to be higher. So a 9%, it jumps to a little over $100. Y'all, would you be happy with getting $100 just arriving in your bank that you didn't have to do anything for? What if they did that every single month? Y'all, that's $1,200 to your family's account. That could be your Christmas fund. Just those 5 people you could set aside, and it'd be what you paid for Christmas every single year. Money that arrived that you didn't have to do anything for. Okay, if you increase it to 13%, it's almost $150, $146 and some change. So we're going to say $150. Okay, now think about a sales director. Now, granted, we have more than 5 people, but with just 5 people, that would then turn into a $300 commission check just arriving. Now, this is just pure commission, not bonuses, not any of that stuff, just straight commission checks. Those may not be large checks to you, But if they came every single month, y'all, $300, that's your car payment for some of you. That's your insurance for some of you. That's your grocery bill for some of you that would just arrive that you didn't have to do anything for. Do you understand why that's an important part of this avenue of incomes? Because it keeps coming. 16, well, actually 15 years, because I was slow. Remember, it took me a year to start team building. 15 years, I have had team building numbers come in. And what I can tell you, last month as a sales director, over half of my entire units production was my personal teams. Over half of my units production was my personal teams. Not my order, my team's order. So that means people I directly recruited. So if I recruit them, she's mine. But if Sarah recruits Jennifer, then Jennifer I'm not getting paid that. Now, as a director, I do, but you as a consultant, you don't, okay? That is over half of my commission came from my personal team. So if everybody else quit, I still would make money. You see what I'm saying through that process? So just wanted you to know. Now, there's some bonuses. I'm not going to get into the bonuses tonight simply because there's some that are date sensitive and they change on this and that and the other. But you can make anywhere from $50 every new team member you add to $100 to once you become director. There's all kind of bonuses that build into that team building paycheck, okay? So what I'm telling you is when you're listening to my voice, whether it's now or later, go check the details to find out. Ask your director what the specific team building bonuses are right now, okay? So now that you understand the money, before I go further, I want to stop and see, does anybody have any questions on how the money works? No questions? Everybody's smiling. This means no questions. We're good. Everybody good? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. So with that, we're going to move to how in the world do you get out of here, scared in the head, to building a team. Okay. First of all, I want to tell you, when you're sharing the marketing with someone, I want you to think about how this is going to affect and build her. Okay. How is this going to make her life different, benefit her? It's not about you. Yes, I just talked about the income side of it all, but when you are really sharing with people, when you can show them that this is going to change the way their life lives, then they're more apt to follow you along, okay? Because people will help you for only so long. There's got to be something in it for them to stay with you long term, okay? So with that said, when you're in front of a girl, you're going to be asking some questions about, why would this be good for you? How would this benefit your family? I'm going to show you some questions, a very simple way to do this in a few minutes, but I just want you to know this is about her. This is about fueling her and showing her how this affects her pocket, okay? But before you can sit down in front of somebody, remember that list I told you about? You got to make the list. There's several things I want you to think about on that list. And I don't want you to be panicking thinking me or Laura Lee or whoever your director is going to give you the list back like Holly did me. We've joked about me being her guinea pig from day one, and it's okay. I'm survived and I'm still here 16 years later, okay? It's all good. But don't kid yourself. I might give you the list back. It just depends on you and on your skill set, okay? So you're going to make a list. Who are the people you're going to put on that list? Well, first of all, I want you to think about if you were developing the perfect, ideal dream team, the team that's going to take you to the national championship, the team that's going to be the #1 team. Who in your life, who do you already know that you definitely would want on that team? Now, pause. Do not make a decision for her whether she would sell Mary Kay or not. Do not sit there and think, oh, she would never do this. I didn't give you permission to decide that for her. I only gave you permission to write her name down on a piece of paper. Because see, what I know is that if you had known me prior to Mary Kay, you would have said I would have never done Mary Kay. Never. I was a tomboy, no makeup, didn't color my hair, wore clothes 3 and 4 times too big for me. I hung out with boys all the time. I didn't have any girly girl time in me, okay? So I was the least likely person. I had a full-time job, had a master's degree, I had a house, a husband, a child. You know what I mean? Like, you would have looked at me and thought, oh, she's got it together. She would never want to sell this product. Wrong. You would have missed me. Okay? Think about the girl that recruited me. She has been earning commissions off of me for 16 years. Can you do the math? Like, I need to sit down one day and do that. How much money she's actually earned off of me over 16 years. Like, that's kind of crazy, right? She did not prejudge. Now, how did she share the marketing with me? I'm going to show you some of those ways later. But she did not prejudge. And so I'm telling you, you cannot prejudge that doctor that you see on a monthly basis or whatever when you have to take your children in. She might be hungry for something like this. So you cannot prejudge that. So who is on your dream team? Second of all, who is someone that you know that if they walked into a Mary Kay meeting on the arms of another Mary Kay consultant, and it would make you mad because that person recruited her instead of you? That's another person that needs to go on your list. So we're going through the different types of people that I want you to be thinking about who is on the list. So who's your dream team? Who would make you mad if someone else? What if I recruited them instead of you? How would that make you feel? Okay, that person needs to go on your list. The third of all is your friends, your family, your coworkers, anybody that would be willing to help you with your training. You never know, that sister, that aunt, they might be looking for something, okay? Plus, it does you good to hear those people tell us no. Because when you hear them say, oh, I don't have enough time, and we're able to overcome that, you start to see that we don't ball up in a corner and cry and go, she doesn't want to sell Mary Kay with me. I don't think I can do this business. It's too hard. Nobody said, you understand? Y'all, I hear that all the time. And you think I'm exaggerating, but I hear it all the time. So you need to see how I react when somebody tells me no. I'm like, no, oh, this is a challenge. When you tell me no, I'm going to work through the no and see what I can get. And they still may ultimately say no at the end, and that's okay. But at least I know that I have given them a choice and them knowledge that they have something to choose from later in life if they choose to, okay? So family, friends, and coworkers. And the last list of people that needs to go on your list are out-of-town people. Do not limit yourself to your network in your town. You can recruit people anywhere in the United States, Puerto Rico, or Guam, okay? All of those are allowed to be recruited through US, Mary Kay US, okay? If you were to move to a foreign country, you could remain a consultant and build a team over there, but you would have to go through that country's distribution, okay? So United States, Puerto Rico, and Guam, okay? So don't think, I mean, I'm in Arizona. Look, y'all, we're talking. Most of you that are on here right now are back east or northeast, okay? I'm all the way out in Arizona. Technology allows you to work with people, okay? So 4 people, dream team, someone else recruit them that would make you mad, friends, family, coworkers, and people out of state. You write their name down, their phone number down, and something about them. What I mean by something by them, she's my sister. She was a best friend in high school. She does this. She's a nurse. She's a this. The reason we do that is that helps us when we start to call through, identify who they are, okay? So stop in there. Questions? Anybody have questions? Reason. Okay, no questions. All right, so the next list you have to make, so you got to make a list of friends and family and people and all that stuff. The next thing I want you to write down is what is the qualities of someone you would want on your team? What is the qualities of the people you want on your team? Do you want people that have a job? Do you want people that own a home? Do you want people that have some high school or college education? Do you want people that are married? Do you want people that are go-getters? Do you want people that are disciplined? Do you want people that are lazy? Do you want people that have red hair, purple hair, green hair? I don't care. I want you to make a list of all the kind of people that you would want on your team. Why is this important? Well, when you know what you want, then you will go out and find and get what you want. When you go in blind, then you start taking in people that's going to leave you frustrated. Now, I tread on that very carefully because I want you to understand this opportunity is for everybody. Anybody and everybody that wants to become a Mary Kay consultant, it's there for them, okay? This business can change every single life if they choose to change it. But you all know who I'm talking about when I say there's people out there that don't want to be changed. They want to wallow in their misery. They want to live in drama. They want to put everything they have on Facebook and make people feel sorry for them. Are those the kind of people you want on your team that is to build and grow you? Now, if you want them on there just so that maybe you can help change their life, great, do that, okay? But just have an ideal setting of what you want. What qualities that you want in people, okay? You will be amazed as God will start presenting those people to you. You'll start seeing them and you're like, ooh, she met this quality. I want her on my team. You know what I mean? I sat by a lady yesterday at the wrestling tournament and I could have shot myself. I should have gotten her name and number. Like, she was super sharp. I mean, she had it together. Everything that she was, the way she talked, presented herself, the way she complimented the kids, that's the kind of person I needed on my team. Guess what? I let her get by me. It happens, okay? So I'm telling you, do as I say, not as I do, okay? That's what I'm telling you. But you've got to be prepared for God to present those people in your life. You know, and it didn't even cross my brain until later. It was after we were gone. I was like, Tony, you were so wrapped up in the moment, you should have gotten her name and number. She's in Vegas. It's not but 4 hours away, and you could have gotten there to her. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. But lesson learned. Learn from my mistakes, okay? She's going to be somebody else. Cadillac sales director one day. I know it. It's all good. Maybe God will allow our paths to cross again. All right. So make your list of qualities. And then what I like for you to do is to go back to that first list and write one of the characteristics that matches your qualities by the people's name. Like, so if I've got Sarah over here, I'm going to say great time manager right beside her. Jeanette over here, I might say she is so disciplined right beside her. The reason is because I want you to start looking at what caliber people you have all around you, okay? So with that said, all that's great, but you're thinking, I don't know how to share the opportunity. Like, I don't know what to say. I'm too new. I don't know enough about it to share the opportunity. Here's where the help comes in. First of all, ask your sales director, does she have a recruiting packet? Okay. I will tell you that if you are in Laura Lee's unit or my unit, absolutely there's a recruiting packet made available to you on our websites. It's straight up in the kit essentials. Okay. There's a recruiting packet. I recommend that you print 10 and you have them ready. You put them with your starter kit. So when you go do a facial or party, you can either decide, am I going to give one to every single person, or am I going to choose one person at the party and send it home with her? Okay, it's totally up to you. Depending on what my goals are, depends on how many I give out at a party. If I'm cranking it out and I'm determined and I'm working on a huge goal, every person that I come in contact gets a recruiting packet. It's just part of my process. You are in my space, so you are going to listen, and here's your packet. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no question about it. I believe in this business so good that I think it will benefit you. So you're going to take home a packet tonight. Okay. Like, understand, I send home a packet. If you want to just pick the sparkler of the party, you know, because we teach at the beginning of the party to ask, who in here would be, on the count of 3, everybody point to the person that's in here that you think would be the best doing what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3. And they all point at that same one person. Then that's who you send the packet home with, okay? I always make sure the hostess has one too, and a lot of times that's who they point to as the hostess back, just so you'll know. So a recruiting packet is made available to you. However, when you're given the opportunity to actually be able to share marketing one-on-one with somebody, I want to show you how to do that. So I'm going to share my screen for just a second. And we have what is called a Simply Sharing sheet. Again, this is available on our websites. Ask your director. She has a sheet like this. You can print them out and have them with you. When you're sitting down talking to a woman, this tells you outline by outline by outline by outline exactly what to say. Okay? Ladies, I'm not going to sit here and read this whole thing to you. You are educated people. You can read. But I do want to point out a couple things to you. Make sure you fill this information out, because in a few minutes it's going to be important that it's there. This right here is just for tracking how many times you've contacted her. Does she use the products? Was she a hostess at a party? Have you given her a recruiting packet? Yes. Has she recruited yet? No. Bring her to a guest event. Yes or no. Did you give her mark? These are all different ways to share the opportunity. So it's just a way for you to keep up with it. Okay. Then what I typically do is I tell the people, listen, I've got to write this stuff down. If I don't write it down, I'm not listening. I have a pen in hand, means I'm listening to every word you're saying. Okay. That's just what my brain does. So let me tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. First of all, I'm going to get you to tell me a little bit about you, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. Share with you some fun facts about the company, how we do, make our money. I'm going to ask you a few questions and then just get your opinion. That's kind of how today's call is going to work. Does that sound good? Yes. And you start off. Tell me a little about yourself. Are you married? Do you work? Are you in school? What's some hobbies? La, 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 la. And you get her to answer those 4 questions. Then, based off of what she says to you, you mimic back to her about you. So when she told you about herself, if she talked all about her family, then when you're talking about you, you need to talk about all of your family. If she's talking about her education and her job, you talk about yours. Do you see what I'm saying? You mirror what she says because she's talking in the language that she loves. So you mirror back what she's saying. Then step 3, if I only have 5 minutes to share some facts with you about our Mary Kay career, what would you need to know? And let her tell you and jot them down. Don't answer them, just jot them down so that you know that in the next steps, what to really focus on. And you go through the top reasons women join a Mary Kay company. And if she told me that, one thing she needed to know is how much it costs to start a business, you make sure you answer that through there. That's what this part of this sheet is for. This right here is reasons women get into Mary Kay. I focus on the top 4, but depending on what she said in step 3, I may have to pull something out of the other perks as well, okay? Money and income prediction, this is how you show her the 50-50, okay? 50 goes to product, 50 goes to profit. This over here is what you order. This is what you put in your bank account. That's what you're showing her there, okay? Qualities we look for in a team member. Now this one right here, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. This right here is crucial to make sure that you share this box with her. The reason being is because you are knocking out every excuse she could possibly have before you ever give her a chance to have an excuse. We are looking for women that are busy. That's the biggest thing I hear. I'm so busy, I don't have time to do this. We are looking for women that are busy. I'm not the sales type. Great. This is not about sales. This is about taking care of people and making people feel great and helping their skin stay healthy. I don't know a lot of people. Well, do you know 2 people? Okay, those 2 people know 5 people. So now we know 12 people. Those 5 people know 5 people, and it grows. You don't need to know a lot of people. If we look for family-oriented people, because family-oriented people are all about relationships, and Mary Kay is about the heart of getting into the woman. People that could use some extra money and people that can make decisions. Are you a decision maker? Great. I love working with a decision maker. Like, that's what I ask them. And even if they're not a decision maker, a lot of times they'll tell you they are, just because that makes them feel powerful. So then you can make them make a decision. After that, you can go on and ask the rest of the questions at the bottom. And here's the most important question right here. Is there any reason why we can't get your kit ordered today? Is there any reason why we can't get your kit ordered today? I have learned a long time ago not to say starter kit. I've learned to not say get you started or sign you up in Mary Kay. All I want you to do is order your kit today. Is there any reason why we can't order your kit today? Because y'all, 16 years in, I still use a kit. It's beneficial to me. I have a kit. So is there any reason why we can't get your kit ordered today? If she says, no, I'm ready, let's go. You don't need to rank her interest. Go on and get her agreement. If she's like, well, I really need to talk to my husband about it because we make these decisions together, then you can go and do your ranking. I use an ABC scale. A is absolutely sign me up. Let's get that kit ordered today. B is buy me a cup of coffee. I need to ask some more questions. And C is I'd rather be a customer and pay 100% and not get any discounts. Great for you. You know what I mean? And I say that, I'd rather pay you full price for everything, because a lot of times that's a trigger to them. They're like, ooh, but wait a minute. I don't want to pay you full price. Okay. When you're done with this sheet, what I need you to do is, after you have it filled out, you take your phone, you take a picture of it, and you send it to your director. But before you do me a favor. Up here in this top, write your password to InTouch on here. Why? Because if I call her and do a follow-up and she is ready to go and you're working your 8 to 5 job, I do not want to have to wait on you to get off work. I want to be able to get in and get that agreement in for you so that I can send you a message at work that says, hey girl, you have a new team member. Okay, so write your password up there. I don't care if you think your director already has it, write it. Nobody can hurt anything on InTouch, okay? If your director goes on to InTouch, the only thing she can do for you is sign up people or order products for you, both of which you benefit, right? Nothing out of your pocket. So don't be so protective over that InTouch password. Let her have that password so that she can put an agreement in for you. Now, as a team person, as someone that builds a team, let me tell you a little trick that I do. In my phone, I put where their name, like add the person's name. So I put Roz Scruggs, and underneath it, I put Roz's consultant ID and password right there. So I have it in my phone for future if she forgot to write it on there. But that's how I keep up with my team members. I put their consultant ID and their password in the notes section. I don't put them side by side. I put consultant ID at the top, password down at the bottom, so that when I need it, I can go find it. If you change your password, please tell your director. She's trying to build your team for you. If we can't build for you, give us your password, okay? So I want you to know that this sharing sheet, I mean, I have them in my date book, wherever it is, printed. I keep them in there. So that when I'm at a party, I pull one out, I can fill it out. You know what I mean? As I'm writing down the information. So just want you to be aware that this piece is huge in your business. If you want to win a car in Mary Kay, you've got a team build. If you want to get a new wrap on your pen, you've got a team build. If you want to become a red jacket in Mary Kay, you got a team build. If you wanted to go on the cruise with Mary Kay, guess what you had to do? Team build, okay? If you want to become a director, guess what you got to do? Team build. If you want to become a national, guess what you got to do? Team build. This is not a piece that you can say, I don't want to be a part of that, but I'm going to move up in management. Not an option, okay? It's not an option. You have to team build in order to move up in the business. Now, you can always move up in your income through your sales, but I just want you to know, but you do it. Remember me? It took me a year. It took me a year. So you do it when you feel is right, but when the want is big enough, you're going to figure it out, and you're going to get over, and you're going to find that 10 seconds of courage to make the list and send it to your director, okay? If you are seasoned and you are listening to my voice and you've already done a list, do another list. You've met more people. You've been facialing. You've done those things. So the last thing that I want us to talk about, well, before I do, questions on the sheets, on the sharing sheet? Okay, perfect. The last thing I want to talk about is the layers. It is rare that a girl says yes on the spot. Now, it happens. We've all had it happen, okay? And we've had it happen multiple times. But 95% of the time, they walk away. So it's critical that you do the follow-up, because if you don't, you've lost her. So how do you do the follow-up? Well, if you've shared the marketing with someone, step one, you let your director know. Hey, I met with Sarah the other day. Here's her sharing sheet. That's step number one. Your director is then going to do a follow-up call on that sheet. And we're just going to call and say, hey, girl, thank you so much for working with Roz the other day. Tell me, did you have a lot of fun with her? Did she share anything about Mary Kay that you found interesting or exciting or, whatnot? Was there any questions you had? What was your favorite product? Do you see? It's just casual. Well, Roz tells me that she shared a little bit about the business side of things. How did that make you feel? What do you think about that? Blah, 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 blah. We do follow-up, okay? And there are times, girls, that we get them to sign. But there are many times that they're like, I still need time to think about it. The next step, you need to get her a marketing video. If you didn't already give her a recruiting package, you need to give her a recruiting packet. But other than that, then you need to give her a marketing video. You bring her back as a guest to the next event. Y'all, I had guests come 4 and 5 times where they finally said yes. They wanted to do it the first time, but they were so scared. So they needed to come back the next week and see that we were really real, and what we said happened that day was going to happen again the next week, okay? It's a layering process, layering. But where consultants drop the ball 95% of the time is after they walk out the door the first time. They never follow up again, okay? Dana followed up. She gave me a CD. She told me I had to listen to it because that was back in the day. Okay, that's my age. It was a CD. At least it wasn't a tape. Okay, it was a CD. And she said, I'm going to call you tomorrow. Will you have time to listen to this tonight? I was like, crap, I guess I'll make time. So Bill and I got in the car and we had to go pick up Christian from my parents. And I said, I promise this girl will listen to this CD before tomorrow. So sorry you get to listen to it. I popped it in the CD player and we listened to it going down the road. And when it was over, he turned and looked at me. He said, if you don't do this, you're stupid. That's exactly what he said. He said, this right here has your name all over it. I'm like, really, dude? So then I started asking questions. I called her before she had a chance to call me, and I started asking a lot of questions. The next day, she called me back with, hey, what questions do you have? What thoughts you have? Well, I told you I'm a C personality. My list was long. So she gave me her consultant ID and password and said, just get on In Touch and figure it out yourself. So I did. And while I was on there, I signed up to become a consultant in Mary Kay. And I called her and said, guess what? I'm a new consultant. But that was my personality. I'm not telling you to do that, okay? Do not. But I signed myself up, okay? But she did the follow-up through the process, okay? She told me, I'm giving you this, and I'm calling you tomorrow. Do you have time? If you say I'm going to call you next week, peace out. That CD is gone. That marketing video is gone. Set a time when you give it to them. I'm going to call you tomorrow at 2 o'clock to follow up. Will you have time to listen for that? Okay, you kind of got be a little bit more aggressive there. Okay, so the layers are critical. The last piece I want you to know about the layer is sometimes a girl is not ready, but 6 months later she might be. So don't be afraid to go back and revisit the names. Okay, hey girl, I know we talked about 6 months ago, and I know at the time you said the timing wasn't right, but I know life changes. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe what's going on in our house in the last 6 months. So I just thought I would touch base with you and see if maybe Mary Kay is ready for you today, if you're ready for Mary Kay. Move them out 6 more months. It's a constant follow-up, okay? I have people that are on my team that were my customers for years before they finally said yes to Mary Kay, okay? Again, I told you from the very beginning, this is my favorite part, because what I know is when a girl says yes and she begins to do this business, I see her blossom. I see her change into a very powerful woman. I see her find confidence. I see her find income for her family. I see so much happen, all because I was willing to share the opportunity from the beginning, okay? So when I view that as when I'm not willing to share the opportunity, then I'm being selfish. That's kind of the trick I play with myself, is that it's selfish for me to keep something so great to myself when I could share it with as many people as I wanted. So that's my thoughts on the second avenue of income. So what I'm going to do, ask anybody have any questions at this point in time. I'm going to stop the recording. So those of you that are listening, thank you for listening. Let your director know that you've listened and if you have any questions, so hang on.